Hello everyone. You're going to see me vaping tonight. Yes, I did start to vape again, which it's been a while. And I'm going to be sipping on some Truly's low carb drinks while I'm relaxing doing this video. We're going to go into a breakdown of some different situations, different videos and stuff. Maybe you wouldn't call it situations. It's the same situation, just a different way of looking at it. It's going to I'm going to be on here for a while, so please be patient if you're just starting this video. I'm going to go to multiple different platforms. I'm going to show you multiple videos that you may not have seen from other people. There were some breakdowns that were done by other YouTubers, but they were kind of very generic. And I don't mean generic in the form that they weren't worth watching. I just mean that there is more to what was being said than what specific YouTubers were saying. I'm going to show you some different angles, some different footage. I'm going to bring some new people into play that most people don't know about. That actually may have had something to do with this shooting. And there's a couple different angles where there were more than just what has been reported, not just Kyle, not just the guy on the street shooting the gun in the air, not the incident where the three guys were coming in to attack him, but now we're going to bring more people into play that haven't been mentioned so far. This is something that people maybe they didn't know about, maybe they haven't seen the other video footage and stuff like that. But I have some friends that are pretty important people that shoot media, and a lot of them have footage that hasn't even been seen yet. So I don't even know how somebody could be convicted of something when all the video footage hasn't been put out there. And we're going to do that tonight. What we're going to do is we're going to go to a reporter by the name of Jesus Salazar. He's a very reputable reporter. He worked for NBC and CBS, and he wouldn't spin the stories and stuff for them or do exactly what they wanted. I'm not explaining it, and they let him go. Well, Anita Padilla from Fox 32, she shares a lot of his stuff. He does a lot of freelance stuff that they use his video footage a lot. And he's just a person that doesn't lie about things. And if he has questions, regardless if he feels scared or not, he is somebody that it doesn't matter if you're a threat to him. He's going to ask you the question anyway. He has like no fear when it comes to that. If the question has to be asked, that's what he's doing. Let's not do a lot of talking and stuff. Let's just get right into this. I'm going to try to find the Milwaukee paper on the breakdown of what the laws, the statute is, and whether Kyle was legal or not about being there, them reporting their laws, their statutes, yada, yada. And let's move along. And we're going to use some different people's YouTube videos. I did the big YouTube video that we're going to use is from R&R Law. Give me a second to pull that up right now. I'm going to pull that up in another screen, but then I'm going to have to screen share, so there's going to be some pausing in between as I'm doing this. Let's go back to YouTube. We're going to pull up somebody called R&R Law. R N R Law. Pull them up. Yes, here he is right here. Let's look at new videos, map, audio, video analysis by criminal defense lawyer. So we got him pulled up right now. I'm going to share the screen with you. Chrome tab, Kyle Rittenhouse. Let me go back and make sure we got it in. Okay, so here we are. I don't know how much of this you're going to see, but I can kind of relay as we go back and through, because all my audio is going through here. It's not going through the computer anymore. I don't know if I can turn this off and then the camera pick it up, but it might screw everything up. So you're going to have to listen to me as I'm going through, and then you could go back and look at the video if you want as well. But let's play this here. Let me know if you can hear this as I'm playing it, because I don't think you can. So this guy's a defense criminal lawyer, and he recapped everything that happened. But what ended up happening is new footage came out, right? When the new footage came out, he was able to go back and add more to the situation. So as he's breaking down the analytics of this whole thing, they use audio equipment to provide location and some kind of signification that shot is in that frame at that time, blah, 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 blah. And he uses the New York Times breakdown, the analytics of what happened with the New York Times. And basically, let's just go ahead and fast forward through all this. He gives you the location of everything that was going on that night. Well, let me see if I can blow this up. I don't know if it's going to help or not. So he gives you the location of where this all happened. It happened right here at 63rd and 32nd Street, right? So 63rd Street is here and 32nd Street is here. Kyle, somewhere down in this area is where the second volley of shots happened. Kyle was running down the street this way as he's coming down this way, and he ends up at 63rd and 32nd. Now, to put emphasis on what happened earlier, what was going on earlier, I want to take you to the comment section of this video and share with you some of the things, what led into this, what led into Kyle making this decision, what led into him feeling like he was threatened to where he had to defend himself, and what led into the actions further down the road. So let's go there next. This is what we're going to do. We're going to, okay, let's downsize this if we can. I'm trying to exit full screen. Okay, so we're going to go down here. I'm going to take you down to the comment section because I've already dropped notes in the comment section. As you can see here, I actually did provide and say, hey, I'm going to do a review on this video. Please don't copyright it. It's all positive, I promise. Here's a section right here where I actually point out to this defense lawyer, you don't have all the information. You don't have everything that's available to actually draw up the complete conclusion. I mean, the gist of it you do, but you don't have everything. There's actually video footage here at the 9 minute and 6 seconds in this video here. This reporter says specifically, all I see was the kid trying to help people, and then he's being chased down the road. This reporter was reporting from a news agency up north in Wisconsin, and he said, clearly, all I seen the kid doing was trying to render medical aid to people in the streets that may have been injured or something like that. That's all I seen him doing. And then next thing I know, he's being chased down the road. I don't understand why. Okay, so we're going to go to that. There's a lot of comments here. I need to find all my comments. They're like mixed in here. Okay, I'm not going to be able to just find all my comments, obviously, without having to go through a lot of crap. But at least I'm here on top right now. So let's click on this right here, and then I want to show you. Actually, I don't want to do that. I want to take you through this video first. It's going to be more beneficial for me to start here than it is somewhere else. So here is the second area, right here where this tan house is on the right and this fence, like this parking lot full of cars. Kyle was right here in the street where all the second volley of shots happened. If you look off to the left right here, there is another side street. And this is what nobody's talking about. There was somebody actually shooting footage from the little side street over here. There was a black car, I think, parked on the road, and then there was one in the intersection. I think it was like a white Honda Accord or something like that. As Kyle was running down the road, there was people there recording. There was that black car parked on the side of the road, and there was a white car trying to make his way into the intersection. So Kyle goes down right here in the road. People run up, trying to attack, whatever, and he's defending himself. But there's video footage of this car over here on the side where somebody's actually recording, and they're saying, oh crap, they're shooting, and then they duck next to the black car. But the white car is actually forward of the black car, and they get that car in the image as well. After Kyle stops shooting, all of a sudden you hear shots fired from the white car as well, and the people in the video footage say, oh my God, now they're shooting. Why is none of that being brought up? Why is nobody talking about that? Nobody's talking about the multiple locations of shooting that were identified in the area right where Kyle was at that night. So let's move forward. This is the gas station where, or not the gas station, but the mechanic shop, the car dealer, mechanic shop, whatever the hell. So many people are coming up with all these different names, where Kyle ran back into as he's being chased by Rosenbaum. This is a different look at an angle from where Kyle was at. He was down here in the road. The side street was over here behind this black car. There's the fence line in the background that you picked up in the video as he's on his back defending himself. Let's move forward. This here is a shot across the auto mechanic where Kyle's running. Kyle's running back towards that black car right there. Rosenbaum is coming in back behind him, right? So on the right corner down here, the way this lawyer has it popped up is you'll see blurps. And when those blurps pop up and everything turns green, that's those identified shots that are going on inside the footage. See, there's people back over here right now. He's going to move his image out of the way so you can see the blurps that happen on the screen when the gunfires go off or the gunshots go off. There's a shot. And he's talking about it's spiking up to indicate gunshots to the red. Right there on the left, there's a guy that puts his hand in the air and fires a shot before Kyle even has a chance to figure out what's going on. So the dude on the left sticks his hand up in the air, fires a pistol off. You see that? There's a puff. There's a puff that comes up right there on the left. You see poof. So there's a handgun over here. He fires. Rosenbaum comes through the parking lot and throws this bag with these like water bottles or something in it that nobody knows what it was. It looked like a Molotov cocktail at first, but it really wasn't. He throws the bag at him and it goes flying and it lands over here. Kyle turns around after this shot and him throwing that bag and fires right back at him. Rittenhouse is over here. Here's the thing. All those shots that were fired, only one was identified from coming in his direction. There was no other analytic that actually picked it up from the way the audio was the way they're doing the analysis on this. There was the one at the sidewalk, there was the one at Rittenhouse, but there was no other identified shot in that whole volley that happened. It was you hear pop, 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 but nothing else was picked up on screen from this audio analysis from this direction, and I'm going to get there on why. There's no other flashes that are picked up in the audio stating that any of those additional shots came from the area the pinpointed analysis is coming from. It's not. You get one shot from that area, and then there's no other shots coming from that area. The shots are being picked up by the analysis, but not from the direction that the audio is being analyzed from and the media that's being used or the audio equipment that's being used. So it sounds deep off to the back and to the left somewhere, right? So it kind of doesn't make sense. Like, okay, the shot at the street, the shot at Rittenhouse, but then where are all the other shots coming from? Where is somebody else shooting from? The guy's down on the ground right there, but the one shot was only identified from coming from Rittenhouse. Now we can stop here, and I want to take you to this video, and I want you to see Jesus Salazar. He's a reporter that was there. He showed up right when the initial shooting stopped and the man was down and the police were coming in, but he showed up like literally moments after this happened. So now we go to his video. Straight from some boost on the ground that was there, thanking Jesus Salazar for deporting what the mainstream won't. Kyle Rittenhouse isn't the actual shooter. In fact, it is these gentlemen here who had been at the same scene as Kyle. Kyle Rittenhouse took the blame for these two clowns. I saw them at the scene as well, run from the scene with Kyle. I believe in fairness and equality. However, as a reporter that night, working on the street, the front lines, the truth needs to be told. Watch the video of them being grilled by me. So I want to share that screen with you. Share screen. Oh, he grills the hell out of these guys. And you could see they get so sketchy. Like they don't even know how to answer the question. The dude's got blood all over his body and stuff like that. And Jesus is like, bro, like, how are you on the same corner as this dude? The shooting just happened across the street. You've got blood all over your body. Why do you have, and the dude in the middle of the video footage discharges the round that was in the chamber, picks up the round off the ground, reloads his mag so nobody knows he actually had a round in the chamber, and it's all caught on video footage, and nobody else is talking about this. This is something very, very strange about all this. It's making it look more and more like Kyle was literally scared and only had to shoot when he had to shoot, and he only shot one shot at Rosenbaum, and and the one shot that he did shoot may have missed or may have hit him in the head. But like I said, I'm trying to show you something that nobody else is talking about. I'm trying to put more information out there for you so you can see that there's more video than what has been released so far. There's a lot of good people out there that have video footage that we're not seeing. Let me plug in this headset. What happened here? And it looks like the camera was unplugged. Plug it back in or select a different camera. Okay, that's odd. Let's see here. What did I do? I don't know what happened to the... Come on now. Quit this. Did my camera go out on me? I think the camera... All right. There's going to be no camera. So we're going to just roll through this and let me know if you guys can see the streams that I actually pull up. I don't know what happened. My camera's gone, but I don't need the camera. We can still roll. Let's go here. Share screen. Chrome tab. Straight from boost. Share here. Can you guys see this? I know my camera's not there, but I don't know what else to do. I don't know how to fix it right now. The camera just dropped out of nowhere. I don't know what happened, and I can't get it to come back on. I pulled it back up like I said. But if you can see the screen, that's the most important part to me. Is these are the two guys right here that were with Kyle. If you guys can see what I'm talking about, please let me know. Okay, you can see it. Um, so these two guys right here, and I know this guy specifically was with Kyle throughout the night often. I mean, this guy here on the left was constantly with him, and I seen him in multiple videos hugging Kyle's side the entire time. And it just so happens when Kyle has to defend himself and shoot this guy from attacking him, this guy's right across the street with this other guy, and this other guy has to drop a round out of his chamber to reload it back into his magazine. I don't know what the reason for that was right in the middle of an interview. I mean, there's something fishy about this. Like he almost didn't want to get caught. So I may have to reshare another screen with you again. So let's click here. I don't know. Okay, you guys can see the one that I pulled up. So let's go here now. Shots fired in Kenosha. An individual was shot tonight during a protest. Several individuals ran. So let's play this video. So this is Jesus running down the street just as fast as he can. All this is irrelevant right here because there's nothing going on. He's trying to get to where the shots were fired. In order to get to this, you have to go to 9 minutes and like 6 seconds or something like that. So let me try to do that. I need to plug this headset back in because it's going to die. Okay, so right here, let me go back just a second. Can you hear what's going on, or are you just hearing me only? Okay, so let me go back to this. I'm going to actually get some speakers for you guys. But here, I'm going to link everything in the comment section so you can hear. But at 9 minutes and 6 seconds, Jesus is asking another reporter right here from up north in Wisconsin, hey, what did you see? Can you explain this situation to me? And he says, I only seen the aftermath. And he says, okay, can you explain the aftermath to me? I'm looking for something here. Jesus asks a lot of questions, and even when people feel uncomfortable, he doesn't back down from that. He still will ask the question anyway. The reporter says, I think the guy that was doing the shooting was the guy running around asking people if they wanted medical attention, which we go back to the emphasis that Kyle was consistently throughout that entire night. Didn't matter if it was his militia or the people that were on the ground. It wasn't really his militia. He was just standing with them. They actually didn't even know he was coming. But the thing is, that was his job when he went there. He wasn't in the intent to hurt anybody. He specifically stated in multiple interviews all night, the only way I'm going to touch my weapon is if I have to defend myself. My whole purpose tonight here is to make sure people that get injured are taken care of, or I can get them help immediately in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter what side you're on. If you're protecting businesses or if you're in the street, you're Antifa, I'm here to practice my medical abilities and make sure people leave tonight better than the injury that I came up on. That was his whole purpose, and he stated that over and over and over again. He says, hey, the kid was just offering medical attention all night. That's all he was doing. And then all of a sudden I see him getting chased after. I don't know what happened. I don't know why somebody started chasing him. So let's move forward past this conversation a little bit. Here's the reporter that they're talking about from up north. Here is the guy, here's the interaction with the people that are really sketchy that don't know how to answer the questions. He's walking, kind of like it's quiet right now, some talking in the background. Here we go. Here's media asking all these guys questions. Later on in this video, you'll see this guy's got blood all over his pants. He's got blood all over his body. Here's the other guy that was standing with Kyle earlier. You can see just standing there. He's got his hand on his weapon, his fingers in the guard position, but not in the trigger. It's one of those things where uh, I don't know that I would be doing that getting interviewed. I think that I would be ready, but I wouldn't have my hand on my weapon and stuff like that just standing there unless, everybody to each their own. I know it's an open carry state, but I don't see the need to be in this position that way. So at this point, they ask, "Are we looking at two different people that was involved in the shooting, one from each side?" And this guy steps up and he's trying to calm the situation down and say, "Well, it's not different sides. We're all in the same boat together. We're all trying to accomplish the same mission together. It's just a little bit different story at the end of the day, right?" So he seems legit up front. We're all out here together. All of us out here together. We're all out here together. He says it looks like there was a misunderstanding about, and then somebody in the background cuts him off, and then he turns away and doesn't finish his statement. Somebody said that he shot somebody down here, and then he got chased up there. There's a car on fire in the background, and that's what they're talking about. He's questioning why the law enforcement went one way, but the offender went the other way. And he's saying, I think what ended up happening is it sounds like somebody shot down here at the place where Kyle had to shoot, but then somebody also shot around the same time down the street. That's not actually what happened. The car is starting to actually pop and make noises like it's about to blow up. He says we heard people say that he ran up this way and they're screaming he shot somebody when he really didn't shoot anybody. And he's actively screaming, I didn't shoot anybody, I didn't shoot anybody. And there's actually a guy in the background here that says actually they tried to stop him, and when they got on him, he started shooting, which is true. He was defending himself. And now all of a sudden, somebody comes up and says they almost acted like they identified one of these guys, like, no, 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 one of you shot. And now all of a sudden, this guy put his hands up in arms. We didn't shoot nobody. We didn't shoot nobody. And now all of a sudden, two or three people start to come in, and they're like, no, we seen you actively shooting somebody. You guys were part of this mess. There's a guy in the background says it was one of y'all. I know it was. It looked just like you. Jesus is saying the gentleman that we're interested in was a lot shorter than him. But the guy in the crowd, he ain't giving up. He said, nah, man, I saw you. It was you. You were the one that was shooting. And this guy says, oh, I have no idea who that was. What do you mean you have no idea who that was? He was standing with you. They were down at the gas station with you when you guys put out the dumpster fire, whenever the protesters or Antifa was trying to start the dumpster fire. And the bald-headed white dude, Rosenbaum, was coming up and acting like a fool. Shoot me, this and that. And as he's trying to perpetuate this action of violence, these guys were all standing right with him. But this dude, all of a sudden, well, I don't know who that was. And the guy in the background, he was with one of y'all. He was with one of y'all, and they're denying it. Well, this dude was with him all night. They were walking up and down the streets together all night. They were almost side by side. What do you mean he was not with us, or we don't know who you're talking about? He says in the background it was the same people that was at that gas station. So there's two situations here. Either these guys are from a completely different group, or they're lying and they do know who Kyle was, or they were involved in the shooting and they just are acting stupid right now so they can stay out of it. There's a girl coming in the background. She's kind of speaking up, saying, "Hey, there was so many people. Basically, like it's so easy to get confused." This guy in the background says he was dressed just like one of y'all. It was just look at all the blood on the dude's leg right there. I mean, dude's got blood all over him, man. He's got blood all the way up his shirt. He's got blood all the way down his leg. And then the girl in the background, she's got to start with her. That's that white supremacy coming through. Where they try to fit in like they own some stuff, trying to protect everything. And here's the scary part. So now dude wants to step away from the reporters, and hey, let me talk to you over here, away from everybody, so nobody can hear what's going on. Hey, let me talk to you over here. The guy that's saying, no, 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 it was you, man. I know it was you. I seen it was you. It looked just like you. And then all of a sudden, when this dude catches a moment, let me talk to you over here. Ah, nah, 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 chief. Nah, there ain't no talk to you. Talk to you right here in front of everybody. See, now he got to go over there and talk to him away from everybody, thinking that nobody's going to follow him. And Jesus just said, it seems like he knows something. Why is this dude wanting to step away from everybody and talk to him somewhere else? Dude knows something. He knows what happened. He knows what was going on. This dude is just way too sketchy and not wanting to answer the questions. And he seems really scared about everything. And I understand being scared, especially when you got reporters all around you. And this dude walking up and saying, "No, man, I seen you. Not necessarily this guy, the other guy. I seen you. I know you were shooting." Now Jesus picks up on everything that's going on right here, and he starts grilling this dude, like saying out loud. It seems like this dude may know something, saying it loud enough where this guy can actually hear him. And now he's trying to be sketchy and talk quiet and stuff like that. And Jesus is raising his voice to make it known that he has questions that need to be answered. Like, you're here right now. Somebody has identified you as a shooter. They know they're saying that it was you. I've got questions for you now because you're not acting right. He's telling him his credentials. He said, I've been working freelance for the last 10 years. I'm a 10-year veteran in the media. So he's kind of setting up who he is. So this guy knows he's not some chump that he's just going to run over. He directly calls him out right here and says, it seems like you actually know more than what you're telling us. Oh, and he said, no, no, I don't. This dude is so unsure of him. He knows more about what happened. He ain't spilling the beans. And then they're starting some ruffling around in the background, kind of raising their voice and stuff like that. Some guy comes up and says, how the fuck are y'all protecting the block here? Y'all ain't doing nothing out here. He said, he shot my mans in the head. He's saying, well, I didn't shoot anybody. Are you getting paid for this shit? Why y'all out here shooting somebody for? And this guy, we didn't shoot. We didn't shoot. He said, I saved somebody's life because I think that girl just asked him, why do you got blood on your arm, your legs, your shirt? You got blood all over the place. He's got blood all over his body. So Jesus says, you telling me that blood is from you helping somebody today? You didn't shoot anyone or anything like that? And he says, no, no, I did not. He said he was way down the other way. All he heard was he was talking to his buddies. He heard gunshots. He came running that way. On the way up there, he sees somebody that was injured and he starts rendering aid. Somebody screamed, help, help, help. And he stopped to help that person before he was able to make it to where Kyle's at. Jesus asked him, from your perspective, what would make all this go away? What would make the looting and rioting stop? And the dude says everybody needs to come together. He says, if you want to be honest, there's no difference between us and BLM. He says, we're all brothers and sisters. He says, I'm a Marine. This girl steps up, and she wasn't saying anything the whole time, and she says, I put that on my mama. He didn't shoot anybody. He didn't shoot anybody. And this dude over here that identified him says he was with them. He was with them. And that other dude will not give up. And there's another guy that pops up in the background and says, no, it doesn't seem like it was him. And the other guy won't give up. He's like, no, man, he ran with them. He said it's the same guy that was with him at the gas station, which makes sense because that same guy was with him all night. Like, he didn't really leave his side. I don't know if it's because Kyle was so young, he didn't want to leave his side. But this dude is not giving up on I saw this dude, man. I saw this dude. He was with him. He was running with him. I seen him shoot. Again, he's just reiterating this on my mama. It's the same guy that was with him. Watch this, watch this, watch this. As they start to walk away, this dude wants to get out of the situation now. He doesn't. Now that there's a distraction with that car, they want to try to get out of there. He says, come on, now watch what happens. Watch what this guy does right here. He discharges the round that's in the chamber right here, right here, right here, right here. He puts his weapon in front of him. He's got a round in the chamber, but he doesn't want it in the chamber. Discharges it right here. Look at him. Jesus pointed it out. Look, 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 look what he's doing. He just discharged the round that was in the chamber. He's bending down to pick it up. He takes the mag out of the weapon and reloads it back into the mag. Right there, right there. Again, he questions, why are people saying that you may have been involved in this? Like, it just seems what you're doing and how you're acting seems way too fishy about everything that's going on. It's not even just that one guy. He says everybody that was there that saw it was saying that he was involved in that. He said, I did combat life saving down the road here. That's why I got all this blood all over me. This guy rolls up and says, this other guy rolls up and says, I've watched him waddling down the fucking road. This guy right here. It was this guy right here. He said, no, it wasn't. You followed him down the road. You were following your friend down the road. And this guy says, and then I stopped. So these dudes were with him all night. They were, every video that I seen, these guys were right near his side. One of them was always with him. This guy is really emotional. You shouldn't be out here with those guns. And now he doesn't know what to say. This other guy's calling him out on it. Another guy comes up and starts questioning the situation because he's identified him. This guy says, I don't even know anymore about that dude. What do you mean? He's been with you all night. Every single video that these two are in, this guy's not far from him or right at his shoulder. They're talking about some racial stuff now. Like, if I came out here with my guns, it wouldn't be so easy. And this guy agrees that it shouldn't be that way. You should be able to, even as a black man, come out here and have your weapon just like anybody else does. Look at all the blood on this guy. And he keeps saying, Buddy was with y'all, man. You were with him. You were with him. Jesus said, Hey, wait a second. The shooting happened over here, but I actually saw you run the opposite way that you're saying from that direction. And now he's getting frustrated. He didn't even know what to say. And this guy over here is saying to the other white guy, the heavier set guy, your man shot him in the head. Now, if he's talking about him, I don't know. But all night he's been saying so far that, I mean, not all night, since this questioning, that this man was involved in the shooting. And this guy in the background was like, bullshit. You're saying you don't know who that kid was. You do know who that kid was. You've been with him constantly. They said we know him as a medic. So now they're starting to acknowledge him. This dude was saying that he didn't even know who he was, and now they're saying we know him as a medic. I don't know who he is. I know him as something, but I don't know who the guy is what they're saying. And this guy over here saying, basically, now that pressure's put on you, now all of a sudden you're just making shit up. He said, when the shooting happened, I was somewhere else. I didn't see any of it. Jesus said, I believe the other dude's story checks out, but this dude right here with the blood all over him, yours doesn't. Your story does not check out. He said, Jesus is saying, I was with my photographer and my security guard, and you came from you came running with another guy from another direction that bum rushed that way. He said you came from the same direction, basically, that the victim got shot. So basically, Jesus is saying, I witnessed you coming from the opposite direction of where you're saying you came from. So he's calling him out. You're lying right now. Jesus is telling him, you came from the south. You did not come from the north. We witnessed you come from the south. You did not come from the north. And this dude is saying, no, I didn't. I came from the north. So Jesus is calling him out right now and saying, man, your story's not adding up. You basically had something to do with this shooting and you're not even admitting it. He said, I was with my security guard and my photographer, and you came running from the opposite direction that you're saying you came from. He's saying that the blood that's on him is not his blood. It's somebody else's blood that he saved their life. He's telling him, You're saying you saved somebody's life, but you ran from the southbound area. You did not run from the northbound area like you're saying. So there's nothing else really going on here. They're back to where they started. And all of a sudden the police start coming in and going all over the place and going crazy, blocking off the road. Police they're just all over. Okay, so that part of these suspicious guys that were identified by multiple people to have been shooting and been with him, but one of the guys denying that he had anything to do with him, is one of the most suspicious things of the whole entire situation. I'll link the footage. I'll link it to you guys right now. I'll screen share this other page so you have something at least to look at. Let's see if I can post this copy link address, and then I'll go back here so you guys can see what's going on. I don't know if it's gonna. It looks awfully big. Let me go to Jesus's page and do it, because this doesn't look right. I'm gonna go to Jesus's page real quick and pick it up from his page directly. No, that's not what I want. Because if you multiple share links or something, like, sometimes it doesn't even work out correctly if you're on multiple pages. Let me search in the search box. Clicking on dude's page right now so I can share it with you guys. And again, go to the 9-minute and 6-second mark, and you will be able to pick up right where it kind of left off. He does a lot of videos, so I got to scroll through this quite a bit to get to the video to share with you guys of these two guys. Come on. Almost there. Almost there. Right here. Let me see if I can share this video. Here, copy link, go back, paste it for you guys. Here, paste. Here's Jesus's video. I got it linked right down here in the comment section. You may have to copy and paste it. Hey, I just want to be clear right now, guys. Everybody in the comment section that wants to fight and argue and stuff like that, y'all need to chill out, man. Seriously, this is just an uncovering of everything that's been going on, and we don't need nobody saying this is what happened, that's what happened, this guy had nothing to do with it. You can post your opinion all you want, but chill out, man. Seriously, ain't nobody putting up with that shit. You don't know what happened. You can draw up all the speculation you want. I'm on your side. I only seen what I seen so far with Kyle shooting the three people that he did, or the four people that he did actually, um, and two of them died. So at the end of the day, all we have is an opinion until a complete investigation has been done. So chill with that shit, man. Seriously, uh, this stuff about this guy in the video has nothing to do with that. You're not even stating that as an opinion. You should say, my opinion is this guy in the video has nothing to do with it. If it's a huge waste of time and you don't like being here, then find your way off the page. Quit complaining about stuff. You're wasting my time by having to even say this. So move on. Now, New York Times analytics. Actually, no, I want to go to Wisconsin. Wisconsin, Kyle Rittenhouse, uh, open carry. I want to take you guys through this as well. PolitiFact. No, I want the Wisconsin paper. Wisconsin open carry law. JS Online. Want to know more about Wisconsin's open carry law, self-defense, more in Kenosha shootings? Was it legal rifle process? Could a suspect carry legal? Okay, so here we go. This is what I wanted right here. I want y'all to see this too, because a lot of people are talking about speculation when an actual paper, um, did a complete story on this whole thing, and they share screen, Chrome tab, Wisconsin carry law. So let me get a picture of this and see if you guys can see what's going on here. All right, so what to know about Wisconsin's open carry law, self-defense, and more in Kenosha protest shootings. Within hours of two fatal shootings, protesters by an armed counter-protester late Tuesday in Kenosha. The internet was flooded with videos of the incident that raised lots of questions. Here are some basics on Wisconsin's relevant laws and what legal experts have to say on the situation. Related, much of Kenosha's deadly protest shooting was captured on social media videos. Here's what they show. Was it legal to carry a rifle at the protest? If a person is not otherwise prohibited from possessing a firearm, it is legal to carry any legal form uh, openly in Wisconsin. Before Wisconsin passed a concealed carry law in 2011, gun rights advocates organized open carry group outings and won acquittals and dismissals for several people arrested during the event, so it is legal. More recently, gun owners have been carrying assault rifles at demonstrations at state capitals against stay-at-home orders during the early months of the pandemic. Could the suspect carry a rifle legally under Wisconsin statute that say anyone under 18 who goes armed with any deadly weapon is guilty of a Class A misdemeanor? Kyle Rittenhouse, 17, was not old enough to legally carry the assault rifle he had, but John Monroe, a lawyer who specializes in gun right cases, believes an exception for rifles and handguns intended to allow people aged 16 and 17 to hunt could apply. Tom Grieve, a Milwaukee defense lawyer who also specializes in gun cases, agreed to the exception might apply beyond hunting, but said that part of the law is poorly drafted. He said he would argue to apply a rule of law that interprets ambiguous criminal statutes in favor of the defendant. Rittenhouse could be in violation of having a gun within a gun-free zone if there was one covering, for instance, a school nearby. Also, Illinois law requires anyone who owns any kind of firearm in that state to have a firearm owner's identification card. but that is only available to someone 21 or older or someone with a sponsor who is 21 and eligible for a card. Rittenhouse did not own the gun, his lawyer said Friday. Kyle did not carry a gun across the state line. Lynn Wood said in a tweet Friday morning the gun belonged to his friend, a Wisconsin resident. The gun owner never left the state of Wisconsin. Anthony Cotton, a Waukesha defense attorney, said whether or not Rittenhouse legally possessed the rifle is trifling compared to the homicide charges. Can you use deadly force to protect property? No. Videos from earlier Monday night showed Rittenhouse apparently guarding a used car lot, which that's not correct. He was not guarding a used car lot. They were standing at a gas station where protesters were trying to start a dumpster on fire, and if that dumpster would have caught on fire underneath that gas station or near that gas station, it could have potentially ended in multiple homes being destroyed and possibly people being injured or killed. So they went there, they guarded the gas station, they put out the fire. That's what actually happened. From purported witnesses indicated by the Rittenhouse may have already verbally confronted somebody who was attempting to damage cars, and that person then began chasing Rittenhouse. It's unclear exactly what prompted the initial confrontation. Obviously, there wasn't all video footage released at the time, so this is not a correct statement in the middle of this. Rittenhouse was actually down at the gas station with the other militiamen, where Rosenbaum was kind of pissed off about them putting out the dumpster fire and impeding in their protesting, looting, rioting session that they wanted to partake in, but these militiamen were not letting them destroy that corner where that gas station was at. So Rosenbaum was very, very upset about it, decided to confront him. Rittenhouse being the soft target that he was compared to the other guys, and Rosenbaum specifically stating that he didn't like how he was conducting himself by holding his weapon, the medic bag. He had some issues with that stuff, and he voiced that. And he went off about saying, shoot me, with some derogatory terms and stuff in there, which I'll actually go back to my video and show you exactly what he was saying. Actually, I could pull it up now. My channel. I'll pull it up now while we're here. And then we'll go back to it. I'm going to stop screen share on that, and then I'm going to start screen share on what the actual dude that was enticing the violence that started all of this was doing. Here's my homepage, and then if I go here, it's my mean mug. Right here, this guy right here. Shoot me, nigga. Shoot me, bust on me. This dude right here is damn punk. He was trying to incite this the whole entire time, and you can see in the video here as he's chasing him, I slow everything down, and it looks like people on the internet were correct about him throwing a Molotov cocktail, right? But it wasn't actually a Molotov cocktail. It was like 2 water bottles or something in a bag that he had tied up, and then right here he goes to release the bag. As he's releasing that bag, it's flying through the air and it falls over there. But right behind him right here, right when he threw it, is when that guy shot that gun off in the air. Okay, so enough of that. Go back to where we were. So this is where we're at here. Now we're here. So it says no videos from earlier Monday night showed that Rittenhouse apparently guarding a used car lot, which that's not what he was doing. He was guarding a gas station, like we said. Many gun rights advocates believe he was, based on only watching the videos, but that would ultimately be a question for a jury to answer. Nick Clark, president of CEO of Wisconsin Carry, a guns right advocacy group who instructs classes for those obtaining concealed carry permits, thinks Rittenhouse followed the principles of such courses. We teach to retreat when possible, which he clearly did. He's fleeing, but the threat follows him. He thought Rittenhouse showed restraint. and not immediately shooting one of the people he later shot in the elbow after the man first halted his approach to Rittenhouse and then lunged at him. Others will likely argue that people going after Rittenhouse in the street after the first shooting were attempting to detain him from police or detain him for police or get him to drop the gun and avoid further shootings. You don't know in that situation, especially with all the commentary going on, people in the street saying, just fucking shoot somebody already. Shoot! Get him! Kill this motherfucker. There was like all kinds of like screaming going on in the road, and you can hear when you slow everything down and you try to pinpoint there's why would the kid stop and give you his gun? If you really wanted to take the gun, why would you come in with a skateboard and try to beat him in the head and stuff with it, kick him in the face, and then if you had a gun while you were running in, like the reporter did that got his bicep shot off, why wouldn't you just shoot the kid while he was on the ground? If you really thought he was that much of a threat, why would you run in with a gun in your hand, trying to grab with one hand and have a gun in the other hand? What are you going to do with the gun? You have a gun in one hand and you're trying to grab his rifle with the other hand. What the hell are you going to do with it? How are you going to fight back? Are you going to grab the gun and push it down and then put your pistol to his head and pull the trigger and blow his brains out? I mean, this isn't a Rosenbaum situation. Doesn't make a lot of sense. You ran in, you had a gun in your hand, the kid seen it coming, you got your bicep blown off, dude. Be lucky you still have an arm. So what charges will Rittenhouse ultimately face? Kenosha officials did not indicate at a new case conference Wednesday. Lake County, Illinois records suggest that at least one death will be charged as first-degree intentional homicide, which carries a mandatory life sentence. The case could resolve a lesser charge through a plea bargain. Rittenhouse could face a reckless homicide charge in the second death that, according to the video, appears to be in reaction to an attack. Does Wisconsin have a stand your ground law? No. Such laws like in Florida say you can threaten or use deadly force in response to a perceived threat of great bodily harm without first having to try to retreat or escape the threat. Wisconsin does not require retreat per se before use of deadly force, but whether someone could have and did and to what extent is a factor for juries to consider. So in Wisconsin, if you feel threatened, you don't really have to do any of that according to this. You could just react on the threat. Is a factor for juries to consider in whether or not the shooter acted reasonably. Wisconsin does recognize the so-called castle doctrine, which presumes a person acted lawfully in self-defense when they used deadly force within their home, vehicle, or a business. But that presumption can be overcome with the evidence that the use of force was unreasonable. Does qualified immunity apply? No. The doctrine has been discussed a lot recently as the reason police officers are rarely held liable for shooting people in the line of duty. But that doctrine does not apply to a non-law enforcement person using deadly force. If you have any questions about this article, contact Bruce Vilmetti at 414-224-2187 or BVIELMETTI at JRN.com. Follow him on his Twitter at Proof Hearsay. So that is one of the main articles that's flying around that people are sharing, that he could possibly get off on this if he's had some kind of hunter safety class. If he, from what I understand, people that know him are saying he actually worked and paid taxes in Wisconsin. So there could be a number of things that are in his favor here, but this portion right here is the most critical for him if this is correct. John Monroe, a lawyer who specializes in gun rights cases, believes in an exception for rifles and shotguns intended to allow people 16 and 17 to hunt could apply. And also down here, specializing in gun cases believe that the exception might apply beyond hunting, but said that part of the law is poorly drafted. I've read some statements that say if he had just a basic hunter safety class or some kind of gun safety class, which chances are he more than likely he did. I mean, look, of everything that's going on and how he handled himself and how actually very tactical he was in the process of defending himself. This kid obviously knew his way around a firearm. Kind of shocking that a 17-year-old would be this efficient with a firearm like this, but I actually, in a sense, want to give the kid props for being able to conduct himself and fight people off that way and be able to maneuver like he did in the manner that he did. He's not the fastest person in the world, obviously. They caught up to him, they knocked him down, but he handled his business. He did what he had to do. Unfortunately, people had to die in the process of it happening. Um, let's see. Uh, if we get away from all that, and we can go back to, I'm going to go back to Jesus's page. I'll screen share Jesus's page with you guys, and then maybe even CJTV. Um, okay, so this is Jesus Salazar's official page. If you guys don't know him, you really should be checking him out. He's a lot of freelance stuff. He doesn't spend anything. He's got a great resume. Reporter at WLS AM 890. He's an actor, United Talent Agency, actor producer at SAG-AFTRA, former assistant at Choose Chicago, former associate producer at TMZ, former investigative reporter at NBC News. He does a lot of freelance stuff now because he stepped away from all that. He does more full blown, honest reporting where he doesn't really get in the middle of spinning stories and stuff like that. It's just a straight up dude. This is him talking about President Trump talking Kenosha today on Mancow. Let's look here. Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero. You're not going to change my mind, so don't even try. Go cry about it. uh, let's see here. If you want a better video proof shows that Kyle Rittenhouse did not shoot the first shot. 11 seconds, man fires handgun. So this is one of the ones right here where it's pretty clear overall, actually. Um, but when you blow it up, the video footage starts to break down, which I really don't like doing. But this is the guy right here. This is from the, I think, the actual New York Times. Finally, the fact that New York Times did something right. But as the video footage progresses, you can see they actually pinpoint where the first shot came from. Somebody right here on this side of the screen where these people are. There's Rittenhouse. This dude right here. I think it's this guy right here that fires a shot. I think. Yeah, right there. That guy fires the first shot right either before or right after Rosenbaum throws the bag. So you have to imagine already that Kyle is feeling threatened. A shot just went off. He doesn't know if this guy behind him has a gun or not. The shot was timed the same time the bag went off. Kyle turned around to kind of get a gist of what's going on behind him because obviously he didn't run very fast. He was actually probably winded. They run off to the side here to get out of the way. Um, Here we go. Here's those two guys again. They were together almost all night. Everywhere they moved, those guys were together. Every single shot and scene that I seen, he was always around one of those guys. So for them guys to act like they didn't know him, it seemed awfully fishy. Again, back together again. It's just one of those things where you have to start to question whether or not what you really think you know, you know. Here is the actual. Can you guys see this? This is the dumpster fire that they were trying to start before Rosenbaum got all bent out of shape and stuff like that and started challenging people, telling people to come at him, shoot him, and all this other stuff. This is that fire that the militiamen came in and actually put out because they knew. And I think there was a second one as well. If I had a chance to get out of here and go back right here, do it one more time. That pisses them off that they came in and they put that fire out. And then they try to do it again over here at the end when the dumpster kind of rolls back down that way. The fire starts to go back up again and they put it out again. So these guys they were not there to hurt anybody. They were only there to protect the businesses and stuff like that. Um, let's see here. Let's scroll down some more. There was something else I had. Oh, here. This is another lawyer right here. I forget what's his YouTube channel name. What's his name? His name is Colin or Colion. I'm gonna link it for you guys. You guys need to go check this video out as well. I'm gonna see if I can pull a link from it real quick and share it with you. Shit, it's not letting me share it. I'll link this from him so you can just pull it from his page. It's not even letting me pull a link from it right now. But if you go, look at the title of this video. Oh, there it is. I had to click on that I agree that this video might be violent. That's why it wouldn't let me share it with you. Here's the link to that guy's video. He's a lawyer. He broke it down as well. This is actually the guys that Anthony Hubert. He's a convicted felon, assault and battery, domestic abuse, false imprisonment, illegal weapon. Gage Paul Graskrutz, convicted felon, felony burglary, prohibited violation, illegal weapon. Rosenbaum, convicted felon, sex offender, level 3 offender, failure to maintain, register status. But that dude has a list that's like a mile long. Here's Kyle trying to turn himself into the police, but they were more interested about what was going on with the people being hurt down the street. They didn't realize that this was the shooter and that he was trying to turn himself in. But this is where he like literally walks right up to the police vehicles and he's trying to tell them what just happened. There's Jesus talking about these two dudes right here that they know more than what they know. They may not have been the shooter, but these guys know more than what they know about this whole entire situation. I mean, it's just way too fishy the way that they were responding to things. Yeah, if you want the New York Times breakdown of, I could do that next. Let's see. The New York Times. Let me find that link for you guys real quick. I'll find that link and I'll link it down here too, so you can see the New York Times analytic breakdown of the Rittenhouse thing. New York Times breakdown of Kyle. Trump kind of defended Kyle a little bit today. Um, here, actually, you need to see this now. I wish I could. Let me share this with you now. Um, let's see. Stop screen share, and then I want to share. Tracking Kyle right here. Can y'all see what's going on now? I know you probably can't hear very well. I get it, but like I said, it's gonna be a long video. I've got a lot to say, and we're gonna. I had a lot to say, but we're coming to the end of it now. I know I've been on here for quite a while, so let's just look at this real quick, and then we'll move on. This is the actual interview earlier in the day of Kyle stating why he was there. This guy asked him, "What are you doing out here? Obviously, you're armed and you're in front of this building." He says, "So people are getting injured, and our job is to protect his business. Part of my job is also to help people if there's somebody hurt. I'm running into harm's way. That's why I have my rifle, in case I have to protect myself, but my main purpose is using medical to help people." And this right here, he says, "We're protecting citizens." And I just got maced in the face by somebody in the crowd, and his face is all watering, his eyes are watering. He said, so the guy interviewing him says, "Well, you got sprayed, but you have non-lethal and you didn't respond," is almost questioning him like, "Wait a second, you have non-lethal weapon, but you didn't respond back to hurt them?" And he says, "We don't have non-lethal, we only have lethal, but I still didn't choose to respond back." He didn't think it was a reason to hurt anybody because they maced him. He says, "Yes, we are. We are full on ready to defend the property. We do have lethal rounds." But he says, "At this point, I'm going to ask you guys to step back," because he sees somebody coming down the street that needs medical attention. Medical, EMF right here. I'm an EMT, and he's walking away from what was going on right there so he could help protesters in the street that need medical attention. So he wasn't out there to hurt people. He literally was out there to help people that were injured. In another interview, Mr. Rittenhouse speaks with Richie McGinnis, a video editor at the Daily Caller, a conservative news and opinion site. Mr. Rittenhouse says that he is there to protect the business, calls it his job, although there is no indication that he was asked to guard the site. Later, he claims to another videographer that he was pepper sprayed by some nearby crowd while protecting property. In most of the footage the Times has reviewed from before the shootings, Rittenhouse is around this area. He also offers medical assistance to protesters. About 15 minutes after the first shooting, police officers drive past Rittenhouse and other armed civilians who claim to be protecting the dealership and offer water out of appreciation. Again, these police officers have so much going on. They didn't even recognize who Kyle was. They didn't even want to know who he was when he was going down the middle of the road because they knew injured people were in the road, down the road. That was the whole purpose why they needed to get to them. At that point in time, Kyle was not an important suspect to them because there were injured people on the ground and they needed to get them up and get them out of there. So even if Kyle did go back somewhere else and stand with somebody else protecting a dealership or something like that, and they offer water out of appreciation, the only reason that they would have done something like that is because they didn't identify them. It's not that they wanted some armed man that just killed two people running out on the road. They didn't even know who he was. These big giant vehicles that don't have a lot of viewing capability to begin with, they don't know who he is from when they're way up in the air and sirens going, chaos going on. They're trying to help people and stuff like that. So to pin this, like these idiots do on social media and say, well, the police officers went around and said, hey, good job, murderer. Here's some water. They didn't even know who he was. I mean, seriously, people. This is ridiculous, some of the stuff that's being said. Mr. Rittenhouse walks up to a police vehicle carrying his rifle and talks with the officers. He eventually leaves the dealership and is barred by the police from returning. 6 minutes later, footage shows Mr. Rittenhouse being chased by an unknown group of people into the parking lot of another dealership several blocks away. The whole purpose behind that was is they don't want these guys congregating in certain areas. The police were trying to get everybody out of the area to stop this stuff from happening. That was the only reason why this was going on. The first shooting, Mr. Rittenhouse was being pursued by the group. An unknown man gunfires into the air. Though it's unclear why, the weapon's muzzle flash appears in the footage filmed on the left right here. Mr. Rittenhouse turns around to the sound of gunfire as another pursuer lunges toward him from the same direction. Mr. Rittenhouse then fires 4 times and appears to shoot the man in the head. Rittenhouse is here. Here's the man, Rosenbaum, running at him. In the actual analytics, only one of those shots was actually picked up to be coming from this direction. Where the other 3 shots come from, we don't actually know. This is Rittenhouse running down the opposite direction of where he was initially, trying to get away from everything. This guy comes up and knocks him, hits him in the back of the head. This other guy comes up, chases him down. He falls down. This guy comes up to kick him in the head. He gets shot. This guy hits him with a skateboard. He gets shot in the chest. This guy comes up with a gun in his hand as he's running up to him, and he gets shot in the arm and his bicep blown off. So as this happens, police vehicles just 1 block away remain stationary during the gunfire. Mr. Rittenhouse walks with his hands up towards the police vehicles. Bystanders call out to the officers that he had just shot people. The police drive by him without stopping on their way to assist the victims. After the shooting, local officials announced a 7 p.m. curfew continuing until Sunday. Wisconsin's Governor Tony Evers said he was sending hundreds more members of the state's National Guard to Kenosha. Here's Rittenhouse running to the police. You can see here he puts his hands up. He's walking towards them as if he's trying to turn himself in, as if he did something wrong. He wants to tell them something. This guy in the street is screaming, he just shot them, he just shot them. Now the police officer runs, hurries up, gets in his vehicle. He starts backing up. The 2 heavier duty vehicles move in. They're screaming at him, get the fuck back, get out of the street, get the fuck back. He's trying to turn himself in. He goes up, get out of the road. This guy's screaming, get out of the road, get out of the road. This guy's got his hands up. He goes up to the cop car to tell him what he did. And all of a sudden, Kyle backs up as if maybe the police officer pulled a gun on him, told him to get away from the car. I don't know if he pulled a gun or what he did, but Kyle backed up like he was really scared, like the police officer showed him a pistol or something like that to get away. So there's so many things going on here. And then in this instant right here, if we play this video again, where Kyle goes down, this is very, very important. And I need to find the video footage of where he is here. You see this house right here and that fence right there. This guy comes up and hits him in the back of the head, knocks his head off. This street right here, there's 2 vehicles parked right here off to the left. There's a black car and then there's a white car right here in the street. I don't think I'll be able to pick it up from there. So Kyle's here. The cars are back here. Like if you were to look at Kyle and you follow off his right hip, almost straight down to the center of the screen right now. There's other video footage out there that I'm going to have to find. It's going to take me forever to find it while I'm on here tonight. There's a black car sitting there and there's a white car sitting there. And the people that are shooting from their phone are shooting the video from there. They're right next to the black car. So there's cars right over here on the side street. There's two cars. There's a black car right here, and then there's a white car right next to it. And the people that are there are videoing everything. And as soon as Kyle starts shooting, they're like, "Oh shit! Shots fired! Shots fired!" And they duck down behind this car and they're recording it. And all of a sudden, this white car, as soon as Kyle's done shooting, you hear like 3 or 4 more shots, pop, 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 pop. And they're like, "Oh crap! This car right next to us is shooting." And then they hunker down even more tighter to the car because the car that's right by them is shooting also. I wonder if I can find the video footage while we're here. I don't know if I can find the video footage while we're here. Probably take forever. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I can find it or not. I don't even know if it's really worth it at this point trying to find it. So go there, and then let me try to find it real quick. You know, I'm not against what Kyle did, to be honest with you. He protected himself. I don't know that it was the right move for him to be there. I don't think I don't think it was a. I like the fact that his heart was in the right place, but I don't know if a young kid should be in an environment like that just for the simple fact that he's just not mature enough for it. Even though he has a lot of training and stuff, it's not something that would be kosher to adults to see a child out there like that. Oh gosh, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do here to pull up that other video. Um, CJTV Kenosha. Oh, Kenosha riot, Wisconsin. I don't think it's gonna be anything for me. That ain't gonna work either. Kenosha, Kyle. I don't know if this is gonna show it or not. Um, I'll try to share this with you guys. Here's the guy that right here was trying to incite all the violence. You guys hear what's going on? You can't hear what's going on. I don't know what's going on. It's not picking up my. I try to turn the camera on. It's not working. Probably have to reload everything. But here, these are all the guys that were getting in his face. Get her in the militiaman's face, I should say. but I really need to know where the rest of that. There's other footage, and I can't find where that other footage is, where it shows the car on the side street. Uh, I'm probably not gonna be able to find it. It's probably gonna take me some time. Um, Let me type in this. Probably gonna have to just move on from it. But there was multiple people shooting. Well, I'm just gonna. I think at that point, Kyle Rittenhouse charged in shooting after Jacob Blake. Oh, that's not it. Where the hell's that? I'd like to see that whole entire section right there so you guys can hear the shooting in the background. I could share it with you so you can see there's other shooting. Here. This is it right here. This is it right here. Kyle's not the only one shooting. Right here. I'm gonna link this in the description so you guys can have it. You guys can go look for yourself. This is it. But you can't see the car in this video, but you can hear there's other people shooting. Right here. Let's go back to Kyle. So right here, look at the description when we're talking here. So we're gonna pause this. You can hear this video does a really good job of depicting kind of what's going on because it's zoomed in so close, and they put subtitles in so you can hear what Kyle's saying. He specifically states, "I just killed somebody," like he's trying to tell somebody what's going on, like he's not trying to hide it. Here he goes. So let's back up. Let's back up here so you can see this. This is probably the best that I've seen so far up close, and we'll bring this down. Playback speed. We'll go back to 0.5 times, and then check it there, right here. So it is exactly as I thought. So when you When you play this back, if you guys don't know, you can click on the little sprocket, and then you could take this and move it down 0.25 if you want. You can move it down that slow, and then you can play the video at slow speed, and then the shot goes off over here on the left. Boom. Dude's still running. Kyle lets him get close. He lets him get close. He pulls his gun up. Dude reaches out. As he's reaching out and he's about to grab the gun, it doesn't even look like Kyle's clearly even looking at him. Fires and hits him right in the head. Like he waited for the guy to get all the way to him to see if he would stop. But now there's all these other shots after this. So we'll go back to 0.5. Come back. He's running. He's not even clearly looking at exactly what he's shooting at. He's just trying to get out of there. He's trying to look and see what's behind him so he doesn't fall. You can see he's letting him run in. He turns his head, looks over his shoulder. He looks back. He's coming in to grab the gun. Boom, he's down. Okay, so we'll move it back up to regular speed now. And we'll leave it at 0.75 for right now. So Kyle runs around and he comes back to check on the guy. And he's going back to see if he's okay. He's actually walking back over to him. And now people from the back here are going to start moving in soon. He picks up his phone. He's starting to make a phone call to tell somebody what he did. He's telling, I just killed somebody. So it's here him going down the street. Dude comes up, hits him in the back of the head, knocks his head off. I'm gonna see if I can see this side piece over here. He trips. They come in. He shoots the 3 people. Now wait. Now he's up at this point. He's getting up. He's not firing his weapon no more. There are more shots over here to the right. You can hear it clear as day. Put a set of headphones on and see which one the speaker picks up, and you'll hear it on the right side of the screen. Right where that white car was in the intersection and the black car was parked. Right there. More shots. So they're not even clear if everything that hit these people were not other people shooting as well. Like, okay, obviously it's clear that the weapon's up in the air and all that other stuff, but a lot of people are starting to question how legitimate is all this. So now we're going to have to take these rounds from these bodies, and we're going to actually have to do like analysis on them and actually figure out if they all did come from his weapon, because there's too many people shooting around them. Shots. Shot. There's him walking up to the police. And y'all know the rest of this. There's no point in going any further. But this is a decent video to hear the other shots that were right there on that side street. I wish I could find the video footage of the actual cars that were there, and you could see for yourself that the people that were kneeling down next to the black car were like, "Oh crap, man! They're firing right in this car right next to us," and you could see the puffs coming out of the door as they were firing towards that direction. Luckily, nobody got shot or nobody else went down. But the question now is, are those all 77 grain, 5.56, or are those rounds actually from other people's weapons as well? How do we know that every single round that impacted was from Kyle's weapon, because he was getting trampled on and beat in the head with a skateboard and everything else? So now you have to start questioning. There were multiple shots and not from Kyle that were being fired in the same area, And then there were some sketchy people in the area as well that were being questioned that don't have solid stories. So I just wanted to cover this, bring in some possible new information, show you guys some stuff that you may not have seen. Obviously, Kyle did all this in self-defense, and that's what it's going to go down as. In my eyes, this guy did the right thing. He exercised the ability to retreat from the situation. The situation followed. He fired. He defended himself. He moved away from the situation again. He was trying to retreat. Multiple people coming in, screaming, yelling, saying all these different things. Some people wanting to disarm him. Some people saying just shoot somebody already. Some people wanting chaos and trying to incite this type of chaos. So the first thing that you do when you're trying to go after somebody is if somebody is running away from you and they have a weapon, I guess the wrong thing to do would be do not chase them. Leave that person alone. If they're going to go do something somewhere else, they're going to do it. But you putting yourself in a situation could make the entire situation worse, and you can get more. You can get you can get hurt worse by doing this type of stuff. Kyle was running away from the situation. Normally, if somebody's wanting to aggravate and aggress and pursue, they want to come to you and they're going to hurt you, or they're going to be in the distance somewhere trying to hurt somebody. This guy was trying to get out of the situation the entire time. I know most of you have probably seen multiple pieces from legal this and legal that and all people that have much more credentials than me. But the fact that I deal with so many people and I'm involved in the media and I'm on the ground doing this stuff and I like out here trying to support the photographers and stuff whenever they need security, I'll go out with them. It's a it's a process and it's time consuming to be able to take everything and put it all together. There are multiple pieces going on here and everything's going to need to be looked at. It looks like right now this kid's going to walk away from this, and I'm not mad at that. I don't think that's the wrong decision. I think that would be the correct decision. He didn't pursue anybody. He didn't try to hurt anybody. He was only there helping people. He had multiple witnesses throughout the entire night from the Black Lives Matter protesters actually had seen this guy and shot video of him helping people and rendering first aid to people. So maybe some gun charges can be brought up if he doesn't have the right credentials to be there, but there are specific lawyers that think even that can be fought because there are certain subcategories to what is written there. Another thing is if you're part of a protest, why do you have a weapon? We've been told multiple times, even under constitutional law, you cannot take your Second Amendment and put it with your First Amendment. The only thing that protected the militiamen from being there is they were not protesting. And the media keeps calling it counter protesting. They were not counter protesting. They're trying to get them brought up on more charges by saying counter protesting the protesters. And that is not what they were doing. Don't get it confused. This is crooked media trying to bring charges up not only against Kyle, but against other people as well. They were there rendering protection to businesses and offering aid to people that were protesting. They were not counter protesting them. And if you let that get mixed in and you don't stand up for your rights, you could actually, depending on what state you're on, like even here where I'm from, if I'm out protesting, I can actually have a pistol on me because you're part of a protest. You're part of a public protesting type environment where there's mass people. We've already had police officers come up and say, look, I don't care if you guys protest, just don't have a firearm on you, because there's a dividing line between, okay, protect yourself, that's fine. But then if you're going to protest in mass people, when you know there could be some hasty things going on, or there could be some confrontation, the First Amendment doesn't mix with the Second Amendment. There's so many different ways to look at this, but don't let the media skew this. And if you see somebody saying that on social media, correct them immediately. These guys were not counter protesting them. They were only there for protecting businesses and rendering aid to the people that may be injured in the street. Let's get it straight. Let's not get it twisted, guys. I love you all. Be blessed. Thank you for listening to me go through this and maybe bring up some different points. Maybe it's something that you didn't know about. But I appreciate you sticking here as long as you did. I apologize, my camera going out. I don't know what happened. It's just a 1080p Logitech Pro camera. I probably need to invest in some better equipment. But we're at that point now where we're going to go ahead and call this quits. Y'all have a great night. Be blessed. Take care. If there's anything else you want me to cover, you'd like for me to cover, I'd be glad to. Thank you.